Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about quite a beautiful tarot deck that was published by Scarabeo in the last few months. That is the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, and published by Scarabeo, and the artist is Giuliano Costa, and it is based on Pre-Raphaelite art. It's quite a beautiful deck, and the artist is the same artist who created the Mystical Tarot, and this is one of my favourite decks. I have already done a review of this tarot deck on my channel, so there is a video about this deck on my tarot deck review playlist, so anyone who wants to have a look at that can do so. And the artwork is a bit different in the Mystical Tarot. Here is the back of the box for the Mystical Tarot. It is similar to the artwork of the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, but it is still quite a different deck. I actually prefer the Mystical Tarot for reading. The Mystical Tarot is one of my favourite decks, and I find the Mystical Tarot very good for reading. So for me, the Mystical Tarot is a better reading deck. And I got this deck because of the beautiful artwork. I've always been a fan of Pre-Raphaelite art, so I did want to get this deck particularly for the artwork. And the little white book for the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot is quite good. I quite like this little white book. The reason why I think the little white book is good is because there is a really good introduction information in here about the Pre-Raphaelite artists. They were a type of brotherhood, and this book gives really good information, a good introduction about who the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood artists were and when they formed as a group, and how they also influenced some later artists who came along as well. And this type of art was a precursor to Art Nouveau in France that developed a bit later. So it's a very interesting little white book. There is a spread in here, and the meanings for the cards are a bit different. Some people might think that the meanings are a little bit unusual, but the best thing about the little white book, I think, is all the information about the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Now, to talk about the deck and to show some of the cards that I particularly like. The cardstock is quite good. It has a matte, smooth matte finish. There's a slight little bit of gloss, but it's mainly smooth matte. Here are the backs of the cards. I think the backs of the cards are quite beautiful as well. I really like the backs of the cards. And the cardstock is quite good. I think Scarabeo are trying a bit harder lately to provide cardstock that is a bit stronger and a bit more durable. It's not as light as it has been in recent years, so I really like that. So just starting with the cards that I like. Here from the Major Arcana, here is the Magician. And there are so many beautiful cards in the Major Arcana. I actually had trouble not showing all of the cards from the Major Arcana really, but I wanted to just choose the ones that I particularly like. So here is the Magician. really like this Chariot card. And this is the Hermit card, and this is probably my favourite card in the whole deck. I have always loved this particular painting. It's called The Light of the World by William Holman Hunt, and I think this is a really beautiful image from the painting, well, based on the painting. This is the artwork of Giuliano Costa, is a tribute to these artists. So the Hermit card, Wheel of Fortune. I love the colours in these cards, they're quite vibrant. So I think this deck is quite beautifully done. The wheel. And I like this Hanged Man card. I love the beautiful branches surrounding the Hanged Man. So I like that card. The Death card. There is information in the book on some of these major arcana original paintings too. So I like the way that there is that information as well on some of the major arcana cards for the images. Death card. I really like this Devil card. These cards just have the Roman numerals for the major arcana, the Tower. It's a great Tower card. I love all the fire in this. Fire in the card and in the background of the card. You can see the lightning as well. Beautiful Moon card. Great Sun card. And the World. So now some of the minor arcana, starting with the Wands. I really like the Wands suit. I love these beautiful green shoots on the Wands. What I like about this wand suit as well, it's a bit different in the way that it's got a bit of a philosophical leaning in the wands cards. There's not as much of an emphasis on the fire element that's normally associated with the wand suit. And I like this philosophical leaning for the wands for a change, because the associations with the Golden Dawn with the fire element, you know, the fire signs of astrology are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. So this suit has more of a Sagittarius philosophy feel. So I really like that. Ace of Wands. And this is really different. I love this Knight of Wands card. There is a pan type of figure at the bottom of the tree with the maiden. So it's got a grove type of, ancient grove kind of image, with the pan type figure at the bottom. So that's got a bit of a Sagittarius type of feel too. You know, the centaur type of feel. So I really like this for the Nine of Wands. And the Queen of Wands. And this Queen of Wands has more of a philosophical look. It's like she is pondering on philosophical questions and thoughts. So I really like this for the Queen of Wands. Now for Cups. Cups has the image, the Ace of Cups, like on the box. Here is the Ace of Cups. You can see the dove in the background. So this is more like the Waite-Smith Ace of Cups. And this deck is basically Waite-Smith based. So the Ace of Cups. I think it's called Chalices in this deck. Really like this 8 of chalices. I might call it chalices now. Really like this. And I like this Knight of Chalices too. I quite like the Knights in this deck. I always find that with a lot of decks, for me, I'm usually not all that keen on the Knights for some reason. I like to see Knights that I that I think are well done. So I like this Knight of Chalices, and it's a bit like, for me, it's got a Knight of the Holy Grail feel. So I like that Knight of Chalices. Now for Swords. There's the Ace of Swords. I like the bird in here for the air element. I like this Two of Swords card. And I think this is a great Knight of Wands. This is one of the best, excuse me, Knight of Swords. One of the best Knight of Sword cards, Knight of Swords, that I have seen for a while. I love this. And the Knight of Swords is flying away on a Pegasus symbol, Pegasus horse, the horse with wings from the myths, from the Greek myths. So I think that's a great Knight of Swords card. It's probably my second favourite card in the deck. Now for Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. I think it's interesting that an angel has been used for the Ace of Pentacles. Don't see that very often. I like this Two of Pentacles card. And the Knight of Pentacles. I think this is quite a good Knight of Pentacles too. Quite like that card as well. Well, there's some of the cards from the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot by Giuliano, Costa. I'll put the details below the video. I think this is quite a beautiful deck. I think it is worth getting for the artwork, and for other people it might be quite easy to read with. It might, I think because it is Wade Smith based, it's easier to read with. But as I was saying, I really like the deck. I think it's beautiful. I just feel that for me, the Mystical Tarot by the same artist reads very well for me, and that's one of my favourite decks. So I'll put the details below the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.